Hey guys, it's Shadow, and I play Mark Campbell. If you like listening to our games, consider supporting us on Patreon. More patrons directly increase the quality and quantity of the games that we play. Go to patreon.com/critfail to support us. Thanks!
Alright, so Dillon's got his back up against the wall and he's breathing heavily and he's looking like, got his head up just nudged over one of the windows, looking with his nose above the windowsill, just peering out to see if he can see the killer birds.
He's gonna look around for any like band-aids or rubbing alcohol or something like that, in case anybody got hurt.
Yeah, are there any supplies in the station, or is it like completely empty from
It is
being
empty.
abandoned?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
empty.
Lizzie is brushing gravel off of her scraped knees. And looking very concerned.
Are you guys okay?
I don't know.
What? Why did they do that?
'Cause we went and bothered the pigeons? I don't know. I think they're gone now, so we have to leave.
Yeah, Dillon's looking outside.
We can't stay here. We gotta go to school.
Oh,
With
yeah,
those
but-
murderous things out there?
Yeah?
Alright, okay, you go out and lead them away so the rest of us can get out safely.
They're already gone, aren't they?
They could just be waiting out there for us.
Hawks have really good eyesight, don't they?
Yeah, for like...
Yeah. But that hawk was leading a pack of murderous seagulls.
We can't just stay in here forever.
Would we know what seagulls even look like?
We know what seagulls are, Dillon. Honestly, okay, yeah, a hawk's pretty bad, but really? What are seagulls gonna do? They don't really have claws. They've got like webbed feet, and their beaks aren't as sharp as a hawk's. And there's more of the seagulls than the hawks, so it might not be that bad.
Well,
I don't know.
it could scratch your eyes out,
How? They don't have like claws. They got
don't they?
flat webbed feet. Seagulls?
Couldn't they peck at your eyes or something like?
I don't know.
Mark holds up his arm that's been cut up from the birds. They can definitely do some damage.
Okay, but like I said, we can't just stay here forever. You want to live in an empty gas station? There's not even any food.
Maybe there's another way out, another door we could go through?
I mean, if they're birds and they can fly and they're up overhead, they'd see us leave no matter which door we went out.
Probably, but coming out the same one that they just saw us enter, I don't know. Birds are dumb, probably.
The ones that talk included?
That I don't know.
Wayne is gonna go try to peek out the doors.
I think you can seek that out. You find the door.
No, he wants to look out the door and see what he can see.
Well, you should seek out the door, and I'm like, it's still there.
No.
It's not particularly hard to find. That one is
You
not
have
a...
sought the door.
Yeah, it just sounded like he's like... We need to get out of here. We're trapped. I need to find a door.
Where's the door?
It's a gas station. They don't usually make them
Everyone's
hard
like-
to find.
It's right there.
Looking outside, it appears to be the outskirts of Boulder City.
Do you see any birds out there?
Yeah, plenty.
He will nod.
Like seagulls.
Maybe a couple.
Do you see the big, swarm of attacking birds specifically?
So Dillon will stand up and edge closer to the door and sort of peek out, look back, peek out, step back, peek out again. If the birds aren't coming any closer, he'll open the door slightly and step out towards
So
his
after
bike.
Dillon put his left foot in and his left foot out and his right foot in and his right foot out, and then he did a weird hokey pokey and turned himself about, no birds attacked him.
Yay.
Wayne is going to seize the opportunity and get on his bike and start pedaling.
Oh, Wayne, good one. You offered yourself as bait.
I guess he's
As Dillon kneels,
eager to leave.
just waiting.
They do not
I
attack
guess
him.
we shouldn't waste this opportunity.
We better go. Lizzie's gonna get up and head for the door.
As will Mark. I don't know. Wayne's
let's-
the one offering himself as bait.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the bike is full of seagull blood. I guess. Is your bike gonna, function?
It'll be fine. I think so. And he'll
It's
give
really
it a.
gross.
Well, we have to hurry. We can switch once we're
Yeah,
out of
but
range of the birds.
Yeah, you guys head off. I'll follow you.
As he takes off, and he's going quite fast,
oh no.
there's bits of bird getting thrown up off the wheel that's coming up in between the two of you. Some would be landing on Lizzie, some would be hitting Mark, and every now and again, so there is, maybe for about a minute and a half until all that could be flicked off is flicked off, there is a slight rain of bird.
What are we gonna tell them at school?
We'll just tell them the truth. They'll understand, probably.
I don't think they would.
What if we just said, wild animal attack?
I don't think they're gonna believe that.
Why not? We're covered in blood.
Yeah, but also, you can't just say a wild animal. They'd want to know what, and then they'd make us go to the hospital or something to make sure we don't have rabies. And
Maybe that's not a
I
bad
just don't
idea.
want them to call my mom. Well, seagulls
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
rabies. What are you talking about?
They have, bird flu or something, right?
I don't know. They don't have rabies. Look, I'm not an ornithologist, okay?
Well, we can talk with the others when we get closer to school. Maybe come up with a story
Okay.
we can tell people.
Okay. We're gonna be late,
Well, maybe. Probably should have done this after school, but
So after they've all disappeared down the road, Dillon's going to climb up onto the roof and slide inside, climb up some of the shelves near where the manhole is and slide his BB gun up in there. Put the manhole cover back, and then he'll step back outside and look around. Dillon shudders. Dillon will take a closer look at the bird.
It is in pieces. A very unhappy seagull at this point in its life. Most of it has been scattered around. Some parts of it look like it was still connected to the bike, but the head and neck is on the ground.
Dillon picks up a nearby stick and prods the head.
It does not come to life, but there is a scar on the back of its neck.
So there's no feathers on the back of its neck.
There is correct. Not like a bald eagle, but
Yep.
there's a patch, and you can see the scar does not look like a wound from fighting birds or anything.
Okay. All right. Dillon will take his backpack off his back, unzip it, and pull out his maths textbook and rip a page out of it and slide the page underneath the head and sort of flick the head up, trying to get it onto the page, and he flicks it up too far and it plots back near him, so he flips the page around and flicks the head up onto the center of the page and then folds the bit of paper and then tucks it into his... not tucks it. Drops it into his backpack. And then, using his maths textbook, he sort of shoves the bit of paper with the head inside down into the bottom of the back of the backpack and leaves the maths textbook sitting on top. Zips up. So he puts his backpack back on and picks his bike up, examines it for scratches. I'll have to get a new bike now. This one's all scratched up. He hops on his bike and he's going to try and catch up to the others. Hey, slow coach.
What took you so long?
Yeah, what were you doing?
Oh, dear God. Seriously? Are you two going to turn up to school like that?
What are we supposed to do?
I was hoping we might have a chance to clean off, but I don't know.
It looks like you guys are wearing half that bird.
That's because
When
we
Mark
are.
started peddling it. Yeah.
Well, I think you're going to need a change of clothes. I'm a bit buggered having to have ridden all that way to catch up to you guys.
But I don't know, I don't know how to wash blood out of clothes, and I don't think I can just put my clothes, and let my mom find them covered in blood.
Yeah, probably not.
What, are we gonna go back home? We're already late for school.
I was going to try and clean up in the school washroom or something.
Won't work too well
Well,
for your clothes.
We're already late.
I guess we could better go back.
You could go dive in the lake before we get there.
I think that would probably be more concerning if we showed up at school in entirely soaking wet clothes with still some blood on them.
I thought it was a good idea. It's easier to
Which
explain falling in water than a whole bunch of blood on us.
Yeah, but lake water is not going to wash blood out of your clothes, so then you just have water and blood.
I mean, it might.
It doesn't. Just water
How do you
doesn't
know
wash
it
blood
doesn't?
out of... My mom's a nurse. She deals with blood all the time. Just water doesn't wash blood out of clothes.
Well, okay, we'll have to, I guess, just head around to your houses, pick up some fresh clothes, and we'll burn the other ones.
I guess, but if my parents see that I'm not at school, like, that won't be good. Although, they're probably at work by now.
I was going to say, don't your parents work?
Yeah.
Which is better? Do we just go to school like this and say we got attacked by birds and that's why we're late, and they might believe it because of Amanda got attacked by birds? Or do we go home and then show up late and just say we're late for no reason? At least if we go like this, they might be more worried than mad.
That's true.
Yeah, but Lizzie, they're not going to want you to continue school if you got blood and guts and bits of bird all over you.
That's fine. I didn't finish my homework anyway.
Oh, is today Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Did I just tear up some of my homework?
I don't know. Did you?
Why would you do that? Battle Lord?
Is that Dillon's new nickname?
He's the Battle Lord.
If I get sent home because I'm covered in blood, at least it's not like I just didn't show up. And then at least we have a reason.
Well,
I mean,
you can say that a seagull just flew into your bike and that happened. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not a bad idea.
Alright. Let's just go... I don't know, do we go to the school nurse?
Yep, go to the school nurse. Anything with blood, go to the school nurse. So that way she can tell you it's not serious. Trust me.
Hopefully.
I've been to the school nurse. Enough.
For what?
Breaking my cousin's face.
Why
Well,
would he go to the nurse for that?
in fairness, I didn't go to the nurse for that, but your cousin did.
Okay.
Who's your cousin anyway, Mark?
Timothy.
Timothy? Never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever met him, so that would make sense.
Alright, let's go to school and say a seagull got in your bike, which is true.
after the two walk off to the nurse's office, Dillon turns around and swiftly shifts out of the hall, down, collects his bike, and rides off to the arcade. I'm not going to turn up late.
What's Wayne doing?
He's going to try his best to discreetly enter and sit in the seat.
So, you arrive at the class and you peer in, and the teacher is writing on the board, and he is saying 15th century agriculture in Poland is an extremely exciting topic, and we're going to be covering it a lot this semester. How do you sneak in?
How dark is the room? I don't know.
It's a well-lit classroom. It is not
if it's by windows, maybe they'll have the lights off and the windows open.
This teacher is not only obsessed with medieval agriculture, he teaches in pitch blackness.
He doesn't believe in electricity. That's sorcery.
Candlelight we will use in my classroom and nothing else.
Maybe he is really obsessed like that. Is he? Wayne peers his head in. He sees that there's a documentary, would it be? Some sort of movie about Poland agriculture. And he will stick to the edge of the classroom. People are kind of glancing at him of why he is not just walking to his seat normally. And he will slowly make his way to a seat and sit down.
And the teacher did not notice that you have now entered the class. Dillon's having good fun at the arcade. He's going to have a good fun detention next week. So, after Dillon went through a week of this to get the homework done, he's not there to hand it in.
He's not there to hand it in.
That seems like something Dillon would do then.
It's true.
Well, it's now all covered in blood, but yeah.
You brought this on yourself, too.
What? It was the seagulls that
You're the one who
attacked
said you
us.
used your homework to clean up the blood.
It is
You're
true
the one that
nobody
went up
said. Nobody said we really actually need that head. Please put it in your backpack.
And no one said you needed your homework to clean up all the blood.
You guys had to go and poke your faces in where they didn't belong.
So no, it's our fault you have a seagull head.
upsetting the balance.
Of what?
Well, the pigeons might probably thought that thing was what do you call it? Something that they worship.
Deity.
An obelisk. And so they called up the hawk. It was like,
This is Dillon explaining his theory to other kids in the arcade.
all right.
You see, the pigeons, they worshipped this thing as an obelisk.
It's at this point Dillon realises just how quiet the arcade is. And that those that are there are looking at him having this one-way conversation with multiple people that are not there.
You see, I think that it's your fault I have a seagull head in my bag.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what does he have?
Yeah, see? Those kids.
Oh, I should have followed Wayno in. And it just goes down from there.
All right. I'm not laughing. I'm going to the school nurse.
You're laughing at the school nurse. I've got
No, I'm
blood
not.
all over me.
All right, Mark and Lizzie are going to the school nurse.
And she walks over and presses a button on her desk and then comes back over and starts cleaning any of the scrapes and cuts that you have. And might have been a minute and a half later, the vice principal comes in And he looks at your rather unusual appearance. You look disheveled. What exactly has created this situation?
Well, I was.
We were
I
on the way to
gave
school.
Lizzie. I gave Lizzie a ride to school, and
Uh-huh.
a seagull.
There was a... Yeah.
It flew into the tires of the bicycle, and we went flying.
And then the seagull, it got all ripped up and it got everywhere.
Uh-huh.
And then we were late for school.
This is very unusual behavior from you, young lady. Your attendance record has always been spotless.
I know. We tried to be on time, but we got knocked off the bike, and then we both got all scraped up, and then there was the seagull stuck in the bike, and it wouldn't work anymore, and then when Mark tried to pedal, the seagull kind of exploded, and then we didn't know if we should go home and get changed because we were all covered in blood, and then we just came to school.
Uh-huh.
This is the sort of story I would expect from that Dillon fellow.
It's true.
Yes, it is true that is the sort of story that we would get from this Dillon fellow. I am concerned. I have been given reports that you two have been associating with him. He's been nothing but trouble. He is a troublemaker.
I haven't heard from Dillon in a while.
I've been helping him with his homework.
Somewhere Dylan's just going, why would you say that?
Because
Say
she's
you have a head for
upset.
proof.
Say you have a head for... Oh, how about the seagull head?
I've been
We
helping
don't
with
know
his
he has
homework.
that.
I have a head for proof. I have concerns about the influence that that young man might be having on the two of you.
He didn't make a seagull fly into Mark's bike.
And he looks at you, and he's thinking about it. Lying would be very unusual for you.
We're not lying, damn it.
Damn it.
Swearing at the vice
Traumatic for
principal?
us.
You're just about to get your mouth washed out, young man.
He's
Says the
upset.
nurse.
We're not lying. There really is. If you go look at Mark's bike, there's probably still seagull feathers on it. I mean, I think there's seagull feathers stuck to my arm.
Against my better judgment, I believe you. I think if you were to lie, you would have come up with something more believable than this. Get yourselves cleaned up and get to class.
Does the nurse look skeptical, or is she fully on board with our seagull tale?
I
Our true
don't know. Adam was
seagull
playing the
tail.
nurse at that point.
Adam was playing the nurse. Mark, why did you swear at the vice principal?
He wasn't believing us.
Yeah, but you're just gonna make it worse if you do that.
And it's hardly a swear word.
It's not what my mom says.
Well, it worked, didn't it? I'll
don't know.
apologize later if I have to.
What does he mean get cleaned up, though? Because, I mean, we still can't wash our clothes.
I don't know. Nurse Adam,
Nurse Adams. Nurse Adams.
Nurse
With an
Adams, Do you have, like, spare clothes or something? I don't know. Or, like, a way of cleaning fabric?
I'm assuming Aaron's letting me play the nurse.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, since you
Allegedly.
apparently responded
Forever.
as the nurse.
You walked into this. You're the nurse now.
I am now the
You're the
nurse.
school. You're the school nurse.
That's how the
Oh.
GM fleshes out the NPCs.
I'll spend a luck point for there to be extra clothes. When I was in elementary school, sometimes if they like needed
get a
extra
lost and
clothes, they
found.
just take stuff out of the lost and found.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne is handing in homework, I am assuming, and the teacher looks at you a little surprised, picks up his attendance, looks at you, and then changes the attendance.
Whenever we're done kind of getting cleaned up, when Lizzie goes back to class, she will hand in her mostly but not quite complete homework and just look pretty miserable for the rest of the day. Is Mark handing in his homework?
He is, yes. Yeah, he'll hand it in and say, yeah, it wasn't too hard to the teacher.
Well, Lizzie's gonna head to the treehouse.
As will Mark.
Well, around when school finishes, Dillon will be checking on the time and then head off to the treehouse.
And Lizzie and Mark are wearing different clothes.
Huh. You guys picked up some new clothes?
Lost and found.
Yeah, we have to return them tomorrow in case they actually belong to someone.
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday.
Right, next school day.
The vice principal was mad. He thinks you're a bad influence.
Of course I'm a bad influence. Oh, speaking of bad influence, I forgot to hand in my homework. Oh, God. And he opens up his bag and pulls out his maths textbook, which has got blood all over the bottom of it.
Dillon, why is your textbook covered in blood?
Might have something to do with this as he pulls using 2 fingers.
What is
My
that?
God.
Wrapped up bit of paper that's all, I guess, soaked with
Bloody?
blood.
What on earth? What?
As he pulls it out, you see Wayne's head pop up and then immediately go back down.
Wayne starts
Yeah, it's
talking for the first time. What?
He's become Mr. Right. Yes, exactly.
Hold your horses, and he puts the bloodied piece of crumpled up paper on top of the maths textbook and sort of carefully unfolds the bit of paper as it breaks apart. And you can see it's been the homework that Dillon's been doing all week. And it reveals the seagull's head.
What? Why on earth do you have that?
I thought it was important.
Oh my God. Yes, but nobody asked you to take the head.
What do you mean?
It's a dead bird's head. What are you gonna do with it?
Well, it's not like he's going to be using it.
Yeah, but what are you gonna use it for? It's a dead bird.
Yeah, but it's got a scar on the back of it. Look, see? And he sort of
Yeah, the pigeons had those too.
yeah. Well, can't you operate?
You want me to dissect a bird head?
Well, you're good at science. We could sneak into the science lab at school,
No, we're already in trouble. Well,
You're not in
don't
trouble.
know.
You never get into trouble.
I am in trouble. The vice principal's mad.
Oh, the
He
vice
almost didn't even
principal's
believe
mad.
us.
Oh,
And then Mark
la-di-da.
swore at him.
wait, what? Soup swore at the vice principal?
Look, he wasn't believing our story about the seagull, and just got really upset with him and still mad.
Word. And Dillon holds up his fist.
Mark looks at it for a second, then gives him a fist bump.
I don't really want to touch it. It's, really gross.
I'm not touching it.
You dissect frogs all the time. And rats.
I do not! What? Oh my goodness, where have you gotten this idea? I've never dissected anything in my life. You don't do that till high school.
Oh. Don't you do that in primary school?
No.
No?
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Have you been dissecting things in school? Because if so, you weren't supposed to.
Well, in class, yes. But not outside of class, no. That would just be stupid and crazy. But
Says the one who wrapped up a dead bird head in his homework.
Well, this dead bird tried to kill you.
It has a scar on it, yeah, but... I mean, what do you want to do? Open up its head to see
don't
if
know.
something's in there?
Yeah, maybe it's got some sort of little computer in there.
I don't know, that's really gross.
All right, fine. And Dillon pulls out his butterfly knife and
And just flips it around a bunch.
flips
for
it
no
around a
reason.
bunch and cuts open the scar.
I just want to point out, do you know how bad it's going to be if somebody comes and finds 4 kids in a treehouse in the woods they're not even supposed to be in anyway, cutting up a bird head?
Dillon looks up at Lizzie, narrows his eyes. Yeah, and has anyone found this treehouse yet? No. You're being
We found
over
it.
melodramatic again.
Oh, again. We found it. That means someone else could too. It's not like it's invisible.
It is melodramatic. It's not melodramatic. It's melodramatic.
It's back. It's back.
It's melodramatic.
Do you remember that from 20 years ago?
Yes.
Melodramatic.
Yep. And no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get over it.
I still have that problem today.
I see. That was a hill.
Melodramatic.
That was a hill you wanted to die on.
Yeah.
Adam says it will be a word. We'll make it a word. Well, is there anything in it?
Dillon will shove the end of the knife in and see if there's anything tinky in there that he can, like, if there's anything to dig out. Well, he's gone hunting before, so...
With his BB gun?
Yeah.
So he's an expert at digging things out of seagull brains. You know how it is.
Yeah. Not brains, out of its neck. Look, it's a little... It looks like a computer chip as he flicks it onto the floor.
In the bird?
So maybe it's like those, you know, those radio-controlled cars and that you can get.
So you think someone can control them?
Well, I don't know. Why not?
It's a
Because
little
if
bit...
it was like a...
It's a bit different controlling a brain of an animal than controlling a computer or a car.
Why else would you need to put a computer chip into the back of a neck of a bird?
To, I don't know, make them talk or something?
Well, that's what the pigeons do.
But the the birds don't sound like number 5.
Well, if there's a chip in it, and there's chips in the other birds, and it's probably because of the scientists at DARPA, what do we do about it?
What makes you think it's these scientists at DARPA?
Because of what we found and the... In Donald Dixon's house, there was the box with all the stuff and the microchip drawings, and then there was the picture of the lady, and then when we looked her up, we found out she worked at DARPA, but her location's unknown, but she worked in neurology and cybernetics.
Right. I guess that makes sense.
She worked for them last year, now they don't know where she is. And she was in one of the pictures in Mr. Dixon's house. We still have that number from the bit of the vehicle thing that Wayne stole out of the pigeon nest. We don't know what that is either. I don't know where we'd even look it up. I wrote it down, though.
Well, do you think we could show the computer chip to someone?
Who would we show it to?
I don't know. Science teacher?
And what, tell them we cut it out of a seagull's head?
No, tell them that we found it.
Do we tell them where we found it?
That would involve telling them we cut it out of a seagull's head. So if you said no to that, it's a no to that too.
Well, what if they ask? What do we say?
Tell them we found it in the school hall.
Covered in blood? I don't think you can wash things out of computers.
Yeah,
right?
before you say anything, no, you cannot wash computer things.
Why?
Because then they stop working.
Because aren't they electric? And then...
This thing was inside the back of the neck of a seagull with blood and guts and gizzards.
I don't think the guts are in the back of the neck.
Well, okay, so blood and gizzards and its throat all around it.
Don't know where the gizzard is, but okay.
I mean, is there a science teacher you know of that you'd want to show it to? I don't have any science teacher that I'd be like, here's a weird chip I found, and what is it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could research it at the library.
I could try and look up the number, but there's nothing to look up about the chip. It's just a computer chip. And that's more Mark's thing, really.
I can't see how it was plugged into the bird.
Yeah, how would it just connect into a bird?
I mean, I could try and take it home and try and analyze it or something, but I don't really know. This is way beyond my tech ability.
Could you, like, plug it into your computer or something?
Where?
I don't know. I don't know how computers work, okay?
Is there any obvious, port on it? Probably not. Yeah, it's tiny.
Which you would, if you're interested in computers, it is the smallest chip you have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like this not alien, but it's ahead of the time for scale.
It seems impossible.
Yeah, the smallest computer that I've seen, it still needs to sit on a desk. this chip
Okay.
is in itself essentially a computer. And it's
You're
tiny.
saying that's a computer?
Well, yeah.
What?
It doesn't have like a monitor or anything, but it's a computer. It doesn't... I mean, yeah, like... There's a giant chip like this called a motherboard in all computers.
Okay. So somebody made a tiny computer and put it in a bird.
Yeah, I
But then-
guess.
If all the birds have... If this is so... If it's so rare for it to be so small, but somebody must have made a whole ton of them if every bird out there that's acting weird has one of those.
Wouldn't it be really expensive then? If it was like...
Yeah. Computers are expensive, aren't they?
Oh, heck yeah.
So it would be really, really, really expensive to put 100 little computers in a bunch of birds.
I think we might be talking like
Or even more.
$1 million.
That's impossible.
What?
Maybe not for
For-
this one, but for the technology.
You think this tiny thing could be $1 million?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
If that's true, whoever owns it is not going to be happy that we have it.
I guess, but
Why?
if they've been putting it in all of these birds, they have money to spend. They might not care.
They might not be happy we have it even if it's not worth a bunch of money just because they don't want people to know they're putting computers in birds.
That is true.
I don't know who we'd show it to, and it's not like we can just walk up to the DARPA facility and be like, hey, your birds are attacking children. Stop it.
I guess, like, the one thing that's been bothering me about this the whole time is the motive. Like, why are they doing this?
It could just be a test if they can... I mean, it's a pretty small town, right? So maybe they figure it's a good spot. They already test all kinds of other things, so if they wanted to make birds that can spy on people or take messages because they can talk or whatever, then
Or
maybe they
attack
just want to test
children?
them out here. Well, maybe they're not supposed to do that. Or maybe they are, but they didn't want them to attack those people. Or maybe the technology got messed up. If it's a test, it might not all go right.
I guess.
I just don't know what to do about it.
Well, what can we do about it?
I don't know, but
Like,
I don't think
if
we
you're
can just-
right, and we're up against DARPA, like, they own, like, everything around here. We don't have the resources to infiltrate them.
Who said anything about infiltrating?
I'm trying to think of ideas.
Soup just
I
did?
don't know. We could tell the police?
The police are probably on their side.
Well, who's left? If we don't tell the police and we don't tell teachers, I'm not telling my mom. She'd just freak out.
Yeah, the idea of telling my parents, not one that I am even entertaining.
But I don't think we can just, keep going to school and ignore all the weird stuff.
Right. I mean, we have to do something, especially if the birds are attacking people.
If it's a computer, is there a way to turn it off? And if you did, would that just make the birds go back to normal? Or would it kill them?
I don't know. I have been reading about something called an EMP.
An EMP?
Yeah. It's an electromagnetic pulse, and it like disrupts all sorts of electronics.
Yeah, I really think you'd be making DARPA mad if you started just doing that. They got a lot of electronic stuff around.
Do you have any ideas, Dillon?
The only other thing I can think of to check right now is the number off of that plate, but I don't know where to look it up.
I guess we could check the public library. Maybe they have records of it.
Okay. It looked like it was off of a vehicle. I don't know if there'd be like a list of vehicle registrations or something. We can go ask. I don't know what else to do. Alright, I'm gonna go to the library anyway.
Okay, I'll come with you.
Okay.
I guess I'll cut this thing open some more and see if there's anything else in it.
Yeah, I'll skip that. Goodbye. Have fun with your seagull head.
Let's leave the...
And what's Wayne gonna do?
Wayne is at his house playing his guitar, probably.
Ah.
He saw Dillon waving around a seagull head and left.
Alright, well, we're going to the public library. Okay, so once we get to the library, Lizzie's gonna start. I think I found out what it's from.
Really?
Yeah, it's not the same whole number. It looks like it was just part of what it was, but there was an IEX 4Z32 magnetrine ore transport. So it was actually from Russia, and it was a transporter for a few years, but then it disappeared, and no one actually knew where it was till it showed up just about 7 kilometers out of town. And now it's just out in the desert there.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but it's like we could get there and see if it... I mean, the pigeons took part of it, right?
So do you think the pigeons were on the train from Russia?
It's not a train. I don't know how it got here, but it is here, so shouldn't we go look at it?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. It doesn't make sense to just be out there, but...
None of this makes sense. Talking birds don't make sense. Seagulls attacking bikes don't make sense. None of it makes sense. Should we go get Dillon and Wayne and go now? Or wait till tomorrow?
What time is it?
Afternoon?
Well, we could try and go today.
Alright, well... We can go see if Dillon's still at the treehouse, but I don't know where Wayne went. He left as soon as the seagull head was produced.
He could be at his house.
Well,
Or maybe the arcade.
you're faster. You've got a bike, you're faster. I can walk back to the treehouse if you want to go try and track down Wayne.
Sure.
Okay. And Lizzie will head back to the treehouse.
And Mark will head to Wayne's house. Looking for him. Ah, Wayne! Sorry to barge in on you.
Wayne is sitting down on his beanbag with his guitar in hand. He sees you. He stops playing. He looks up.
Ah, Wayne. I've been looking for you.
He waves, seeing as he is here right now.
Well, we're thinking about going, out into the desert. There's well, you see, Lizzie found out what those numbers mean on that piece of metal that we found that the birds had. It's the numbers for a hovertran that was from Russia. We don't know much else about it, but it's out in the desert. And yeah, we're gonna go explore it. You wanna come?
He will nod his head. He'll pick up his Walkman from the table and follow you.
Alright, grab your bike. We'll be heading out.
That will probably be in the front lawn, like laying down, so he will grab it on the way out.
Yeah, we should go to the treehouse, because that's where Lacey was headed. Hopefully Dillon is still there.
And it looks like Dillon's trying to copy notes from the bloodied piece of paper into another part of the textbook, which has got blood all soaked on the bottom of it. He looks up. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I found out what the number is. And so we gotta go look at a transport outside of town. Yeah.
Outside of town again?
There was a Russian magnetrine transport and it disappeared a while ago, but it reappeared and it's outside of our town. And that's what the number's from.
What do you mean disappeared and reappeared? Like a
I mean, nobody
ghost?
knew where it was, and then it showed up outside our town.
So like Area 51 kind of shit.
I don't know.
Where things disappear. Like those planes that flew in and just disappeared.
But they don't, like, reappear outside of random towns later, do they?
Didn't one reappear on the moon? Oh, was that a movie?
On the moon?
I think that was a movie.
I don't know if there's any airplanes on the moon.
So the good news is that the bird had a brain. So
Okay.
it wasn't completely computer controlled.
And you know this because you cracked
Why do you have a
open
shocked
its
look of
head?
expression on your face?
Because I didn't think that while I was gone you would crack open a bird's skull and check if it had a brain?
You look a bit pale.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, guess what? When you get to high school, you get to do all this cool shit. Be able to look inside bodies of things and dissect
maybe
a
I'll be
toad
sick
and look
that
at its
day.
gizzards and guts and. So when are we going out to the
Well, Mark was gonna go find Wayne because we don't know where he got to,
Oh.
and then I think he'll just meet us back here.
Damn Wayne running off like a dog? Damn kid never says anything either.
Have you only just noticed that?
Yeah, now that you mention it.
He left as soon as you, well,
Squeamish
pulled the
much?
seagull's head out of your bag. It's pretty disgusting.
What?
All the blood and bits of seagull?
Well, earlier today you were wearing half of that fellow.
And that wasn't very fun either.
Well, it's probably lucky that he didn't ride with you back to school.
What, Wayne?
Yeah. Remember, he was out front.
Yeah. I think he still would have been late, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
just
don't know,
mean he
I
wouldn't
didn't
have
go to
got any
class.
bits of seagull on him.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Oh. Okay.
Well,
Monday's gonna be interesting for you.
why?
Didn't hand in your homework. Didn't
Oh,
go
I
to
was sick.
class. It would work a lot better if your textbook wasn't covered in blood. Well, what were we supposed to say to explain all the blood and feathers?
Well, it's the vice principal. He's a narc.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like you very much either.
The feeling's mutual.
He said he's had reports that Mark and I are hanging out with you. Reports from who?
Who's spying on us?
I don't know.
The birds.
The birds.
Mark, are you
Wait.
back?
Hey.
Mark pokes his head through the hole in the bottom of the treehouse.
Are you saying the vice principal's behind this?
Not really. It was.
Just attacking kids he doesn't like with birds?
It was more of a joke, but now that you mention it, maybe.
Oh, did you find Wayne?
Yeah, he's here.
And it's followed by Wayne.
Wayne, show yourself.
He appears from behind Adam
Show
because he's invisible, Adam likes to say. Yep,
From behind Adam?
Why is Adam there?
from behind.
Nurse Adams.
Nurse
Is here?
Nurse Adams.
He says, yeah, I brought Wayne and also the school nurse in case we fall down again this time. All right, well, are we going to go look at this Russian thing?
Do you think it's
Yeah.
safe?
I don't know.
Probably not, but we should still check it out.
But shouldn't... Okay, so birds usually
Birds.
sleep at night, right? So why don't
Depends
we
on
go
the
at night?
birds. We might get attacked by owls if we went at night.
Well, seagulls surely won't be flying around at night.
I
But
don't know
owls
if I want to go wandering the desert at night.
Why?
I don't want to,
Realistically, it could get really cold.
because it'll be dark. I think we should go during the day.
Well, I think we should go at night.
These birds are kind of messed up. It's entirely possible they either don't sleep or, like, have guard shifts or something. Like, we don't know.
And if we go at night, we might get
Wait.
lost, or
And
our
Dillon
parents
shakes
will
his
notice
head.
we're gone.
You sneak out of the house. Haven't you done that before?
No.
Oh, Lizzie.
I haven't either.
Wayne, do you want to go at night or during the day? Because I say day and Mark says day, but Dillon says night.
And he'll point to Mark.
Another vote for day, then?
So, day it is.
Alright, well, should we go now?
Do you want to wait like an hour?
Why?
Well, it'll be almost...
Dark.
It'll be day and night at the same time.
No, let's go now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to...
Please?
Fine. Get on the handlebars.
Okay.
Dillon will leave his backpack behind and slide down the
Bloody
ladder.
backpack.
The bloodied backpack. Yeah. I'm going to explain that.
Hand
Well, I
it
got
to
a
your
good
butler.
excuse for my homework at least.
Yeah?
A bird bled all over my homework.
Is that a good excuse?
Better than a cat ate it.
Alright.
Alright, you getting on?
Yep. Lizzie gets on the handlebars.
And Dillon will start riding off. Okay, you point the way.
Okay. And she will.
You guys coming?
And Mark will climb down. And he's going to attempt to clean his bike a bit before going.
Dillon's riding out of town.
Yep. Tales from the Loop is produced by Free League, starring SPG as Wayne, Raveninsane as Dillon, Shadow as Mark, Emily as Lizzie, and Ghost as the Storyteller. Sound and music by Sirenscape and Epidemic. This has been a Crit Fail production. Thanks for listening.